I might lose my farm because of the government. I need your help to save my farm and many other farms. We are possibly going to lose our farm if NRCS doesn't hold up their contract with us on the EQIP program. So the reason that they're not able to hold up the contract is our EQIP program, which is cost sharing on fences, waters, a well, and some seedings, was funded by the Inflation Reduction Act. Because of the executive orders, there's a pause or a freeze on the funding through the Inflation Reduction Act, and they're not able to pay out on the stuff that we completed or anything going forward. But the issue I have is I've already done a bunch of the work, already paid for the material, already paid for the labor, so I'm out all that cost, and I use my farm operating expenses in order to do those projects, because per contract I knew that I was going to get cost sharing refunds on the stuff once completed, but now that it's completed, they're saying that they're unable to provide the funds because of the freeze on the Inflation Reduction Act funds. So I reached out to a couple different senators and Congress people. So I reached out to Ann Wagner's office. I have not heard back from them. I reached out to Josh Hawley's office. I have heard back from him, not from him personally, but from his office. And they are looking into it because they said that this should not be happening. The intention was not to take away the funding from the farmers, but doing the Inflation Reduction Act, cutting those costs, then it's also taken away from the programs that those programs helped out. So it's in the works, but what I need from you guys is if you could please share this, tag your representatives, tag your senators. I need to get some ground on this because I'm not the only one this is affecting. So there are other farmers in the comments saying that they're in the same boat that I'm in because they signed these contracts, and the contracts, even like, so whenever I looked into the contract, I made sure that that funding was set aside. It wasn't funding that, oh, we hope it's there whenever it's done. I made sure that that funding was set aside so that way before I made these business decisions, I knew that funding was there per contract. So they're backing out on the contract because they don't have the funding. They can't release the funds. So please tag the representatives. Please tag the senators. I need to get some ground on this. We need to help me and other farmers out. We've got to get this funding paid out. I don't care if they don't do it in the future. The problem is there was contracts in place. Multiple farms made business decisions, and multiple farms are going to sink if we don't get traction on this and get those funds unfrozen.
So the farmers in America, they lost all their workers because they got deported. And then they voted for Trump. And then they lost a lot of the grants because this guy Musk has been, cleaning out, and he's taking from the poor. The farmers can't pay their bills. They're having to sell. And J.D. Vance set up a company so that he could buy farms. They're buying all the farms in America, just like they did with all the private houses. Oh, you guys are so smart. You're brilliant. You can't make this. Okay, I have positive news. Here's the positive news. Decades of proud ignorance that you've had is coming to an end. Jesus.
Here in Missouri, we were proud to vote for President Trump, but now we're definitely regretting it. Last year under Biden, we got approved for a $250,000 cost-sharing contract with the Department of Agriculture to improve our water systems on our 300-acre cattle farm. It's beneficial to both parties because we get a break on the cost of labor and construction putting these new pipes in, and the general population gets healthier cattle, healthier beef, etc. So basically we front all the costs for the labor and construction, and then they reimburse us. But in January and now in this month, Trump's put all these executive orders to freeze all these contracts. So we've already fronted over $100,000 getting these new pipes in, and now we're not going to get reimbursed. If we call and ask, they say they don't know when the funds are going to be there or if they're going to be there at all. I couldn't believe that Trump would do this to us. We've always supported him. But then my friend sent me an article on what he used to do as a real estate mogul in New York, and apparently he didn't pay companies all the time that he did business with. So I don't know if this is ever going to get solved. We can't afford it. I don't know what we're going to do.
We're diving into a juicy international showdown that's got farmers, food giants, and even chocolate lovers on edge. Canada's had enough of Trump's tariffs, and now U.S. farmers are sounding the alarm with an emergency call. Is a trade war brewing between these border buddies? Stick around to find out. And don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more global drama. So here's the scoop. Trade between Canada and the U.S. is massive. Think $72.6 billion in agriculture alone. Canada sends us beef, pork, and even $2 billion in chocolate. Yes, your favorite candy bars in the mix. Meanwhile, the U.S. hooks Canada up with 67% of its veggies and 36% of its fruit. It's a food friendship that's worked for years. But now, things are getting spicy. Trump slapped a 25% tariff on Canadian goods, and Canada fired back with $30 billion in tariffs. Orange juice, coffee, you name it. Prime Minister Trudeau's even threatening to up the ante next month with $125 billion more, targeting U.S. beef and pork. Ouch. This isn't just about numbers, it's personal. Canadian hog farmers rely on the U.S. market, while U.S. family farms are freaking out over losing Canada. One U.S. farmer rep warned on February 7, 2025, that Canada's moves could wreak havoc on agriculture. And Canada's not backing down, with officials saying, "We can't ignore our national interests." But here's the twist. Canada needs U.S. produce to survive its harsh winters, and 76% of its exports go south. If this escalates, both sides could feel the burn. So, is Canada bluffing to flex its diplomatic muscle, or are we headed for a full-on trade war? Let's talk fallout. Beef, pork, baked goods, even chocolate could get pricier or vanish from shelves. Imagine paying more for your burger or losing that sweet U.S. candy fix in Canada. Big companies and small farms alike are sweating, and global markets might wobble too. Some say Canada's just playing hardball to protect its own, maybe even eyeing a bigger slice of the trade pie. But if the U.S. retaliates, say with energy sanctions, Canada's in trouble too. It's a high-stakes poker game and no one's showing their full hand yet. So, what do you think? Will Canada pull the trigger on these tariffs, or will a last-minute deal save the day? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm dying to hear how you'd solve this mess. If you love this deep dive, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss what happens next.
Yesterday, I had posted a video about my struggle with empathy and schadenfreude for people who are in the FO stage of FAFO, and having genuine conversations with people who want to learn and people who want to leave MAGA and all that kind of stuff. And I used the farmer who's on the verge of losing his farm as an example. My bad. The more I learn about this guy and the more I see his videos doubling down on Trump, you are a dumb fuck. You are getting everything you deserve, buddy. You benefited off of Joe Biden's policies, and now Trump has taken that benefit away or put a pause on that benefit, at least in the interim. And you're on here. You have the audacity to come on here and ask for sympathy. Bro, you're not going to get it. And then you're doubling down, blaming everybody else except doing self-reflection. Yeah, you're not going to get any empathy. I hope you lose it. I hope you do lose your farm because you're a dumb fuck. And instead of taking the opportunity to maybe do some self-reflecting, realizing that you done fucked up, you're blaming everybody else. You're blaming everybody in your comments for being mean because you're a thin-skinned little fuck. And, yeah, thoughts and tariffs.
By now, you've probably seen the video of this young farmer saying that he's at risk of losing his farm because he was taking part in a federal program that was assisting him in making some much needed improvements on his farm so that hopefully he could turn a bigger profit. But because presidential executive orders that have been signed have frozen the funds to those federal programs, he could lose his farm. And listen, I've seen the comments, the stitches, the duets, people telling him, FAFO, you voted for this. And if you'll allow me, I want to come at this from a different perspective. First of all, I'm not a Republican and I'm not a Democrat. I've been a registered independent voter for the last 4 elections. That being said, yes, I did vote for Kamala Harris. And if this is where you stop listening, have a great rest of your day. Secondly, I don't watch mainstream or legacy media. All of the media I choose to consume is from outside of the US, primarily Al Jazeera and NPR. All that being said, that's the problem with using just a few issues to choose our elected officials, because that person running and their whole campaign team just wants you to believe that they are the best and the other side is the worst, that they want you to have the best world and the best life and the other side doesn't want you to have anything, and that these programs that are trying to help people are draining taxpayer dollars. They're making the American people lazy so that they can suck off the teat of American taxpayers. When the truth is, that's not even close to what it is. A lot of the programs, not all and not none, but a lot of the programs that people are trying to put in place are to try and help make Americans stronger themselves so that they're more self-reliant. But the problem is, most people are just going to listen to what that politician says and not think the 3 to 4 steps ahead to think, if this, then that. If they get rid of this, then what else goes with it? And that's where we all lose, because most people don't realize these bills are written in such a way that they intertwine programs. And if you undo one, you undo them all. Unfortunately, this is going to keep happening until people can stop and say, what else is this going to affect? And am I okay with that happening?
So this comment right here, little short-sighted. Let's pass the blame easily on Donald Trump, because that's the easiest thing to do. But let's debunk this real quick. Farmers are not losing their farms because of Donald Trump. They are losing their farms due to their own greed, because they don't want to pay livable wages and they don't want to share their revenue by having people legally. You see how this works? You guys are pro-slavery, paying people under the table, paying people below minimum wage, paying people non-livable wage so they can do your job. So yeah, no, fuck them. Farmers with ethics, farmers that will actually care about their employees, farmers that care about the whole thing that's going on, they're not going out of business. They're not losing their farms. So no.
Since the election, everyone has reminded me that I thought Kamala Harris was going to win. Everyone has reminded me that she didn't win and Donald Trump won. I've seen it over and over and over again. But what I also said was, if Donald Trump did win, it would be a disaster for farmers and oil workers. Because the last time Donald Trump was president, it was a disaster for farmers and oil workers. Now, he really hasn't gotten to oil workers yet. But hey, farmers, how you doing? Yeah, you see, the last time Donald Trump was president, over 100,000 farms went belly up in America. So here he runs for president again, and what do you farmers do? Yeah, you vote for him again. And I don't understand why, but it's one of those cases where you effed around and now you're going to find out again. Because apparently he didn't do enough damage the first time. You wanted to see it a second time. So here we are.
You guys, I don't know how I did it, but somehow I got over on political TikTok, or I didn't get over, they came over to me. A couple videos. One was that one I did, telling you guys not to turn your cameras. Well, I gotta get my fucking hand out. Turn your cameras this way, I went not too long ago, holy shit, them fuckers come over in droves. Talking about how, you getting what you voted for. I mean, I don't know how they know who I voted for. They might have checked the voter records. Maybe that's public knowledge. I don't even know. But, you get what you voted for, Nebraska. You go broke. You're going broke. Maybe we're fuck. I don't even know what. I don't even know. And the second one they got on was one from fucking a year and a half ago in the fall when I was weaning calves. It's Crying Nebraska Farmer. And if you Google in Crying Nebraska Farmer, it was clear up at the top yesterday. I see today it's down a little ways, but that video comes up of me. So I guess that makes me kind of famous. I don't know. You know, I'm in one of them search engine things, so I don't really know that that's probably a good thing, but that's how they keep finding me. Thankfully, I'm a little further down the list now, so I'm not the first one that pops up. I had a lady tell me that's how she found me, and she thought it was kind of weird. But anywhooski, yeah, Nebraska's going broke, and they hope we get what we deserve and all this, because this is what we voted for, Nebraska. This is what you voted for, Nebraska. Except a few comments from people from Omaha. We didn't vote for this. That's them fucking hicks out west. We're Omaha. We're blue. Well, okay, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, I've never done it, you know, in all my time here on TikTok, but I'm gonna have to start blocking some of these fucking yahoos. I don't want to take a deep dive into fucking Nebraska politics or politics in general, because I don't give three fucks. But anyway, the reason that one video came up, you know, Crying Nebraska Farmer with me on it, in my hashtags I always write Nebraska, I always write farm talk, and I had cry babies, you know, for bawling calves. Cry Nebraska farm talk. That gets me on there, I guess. I wasn't crying about nothing. Anywho, fucking, and it's been all this hate, you know, and it's not just, you know, it's not just Democrats, because I mean there's some comments on there, you fucking Democrats, and come on guys, let's do a little bit better. Democrats, Republicans, it don't make a fuck. We're all people, and you guys, you conservatives out there, it was the same thing when fucking Biden was in office, you know. You fucking liberals get what you deserve. That's what they're doing to, you know, to conservatives now. You fucking Trump MAGA-loving cocksuckers, that's what you deserve. This is what you voted for. It'd have been the same thing if that one chick got president. And I mean, it wouldn't be for very long, because we probably wouldn't have a country left. But anywho, yeah, I guess I've gotten what we voted for so far. I don't know. Anyway, fucking politics, just, I don't care. Beep beef.